Good morning, English funkers. This is Professor Frank, the coolest motherfunking English teacher on YouTube. Today we are going to talk about the main idea of a paragraph and passage. Let's get into it. The main idea. It's one issue you need to master if you're ever going to have a high reading comprehension score or high reading comprehension in your job. So what is the main idea of a paragraph or passage? The main idea is what the passage is mostly about. While the main idea is what the passage is mostly about, it's not just the topic alone. The topic plus the author's view about the topic equals the main idea. So in situations where we have a passage that's multiple paragraphs, we should be able to find the topic and then what the author is talking about relating to that topic. That will be the main idea. And we'll go through some examples so you have it clear. One question to ask yourself when finding the main idea is, what's your point? What are you trying to tell me about the topic? To find the main idea, a lot of times you can simply ask yourself, after you find the topic, what's your point? And you're directing that question towards the author. What is the author trying to tell us? What's your point in talking about a Rottweiler if the Rottweiler is the topic? What's your point in talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 if Grand Theft Auto 5 is the topic? What's your point? The main idea is the most important point of the text, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Again, you're going to look for the topic and then the author's idea about the topic. What's the author's point? What's your funkin' point? And you will find the main idea. How to find the main idea of a passage. Identify the topic. That is the first thing you do when you're trying to find the main idea. You look to the title of the passage, the first sentence of a passage. A lot of times the authors will give you some words even before the passage, and that will help you identify the topic. And remember, the topic is something that is very general, and the author's ideas about the topic, what the funk is he talking about relating to the topic, will be your main idea. So first step, identify the topic. Summarize in your own words. And what do we mean by that? After each paragraph, we're going to summarize it with a headline. And we went over that in the headlining section. If you haven't checked out that video, go do it right now, because after each paragraph, we are going to headline, which is basically summarizing in our own words what that paragraph is about. And ultimately, the paragraph should either tell us what the main idea is or have supporting sentences or supporting paragraphs that are supporting the main idea. Always check the first and last sentences. And when I say that the first and last sentence, that's of each paragraph. In order to identify the main idea, if you can identify the topic sentence, which is the same thing as the main idea, you found the main idea. Finally, another tip. So now that we know that the main idea is going to be the topic and what the funk this author is saying about the topic, we're going to look at a few examples. Let's see if we can find the main idea of these paragraphs. Let's take a look at this first one. And remember, for the rest of our careers, we are going to headline every paragraph we read relating to any type of examination. I know that when you're reading a book, you're not going to do this, but reading comprehension for exams is much different. We're learning a technique, and we're going to practice this technique, and then we're going to increase our scores tremendously. Trust old Professor Frank here. Let's look at this first paragraph. Living things or organisms with certain characteristics. Remember when I said that the topic sentence will have the main idea in it? We haven't read the other sentences yet, and there is no title here. So we still first have to find the topic, and then we're going to look for potentially a topic sentence. Living things or organisms with certain characteristics. They need water, food, and air to survive. They grow and change, and they move on their own. As soon as I read that, I'm underlining this first part. This looks like to me will be a topic sentence. The topic will be living things, and it appears that the author is going to have an opinion, a view about living things. Specifically, they have certain characteristics. But let's keep reading. They need water, food, and air to survive. They grow and change, and they move on their own. Living things reproduce or make more of themselves. For example, plants and animals are living things. Plants make their own food, and animals eat plants or other animals for food. So we go back to this paragraph, and I always say, step number 1, check the first and last sentence. The first sentence, living things are organisms with certain characteristics. Since we already read the paragraph, we are going to headline it, and then if this was an exam, we're going to either move on to the next paragraph or start answering the questions. So to headline, living things have certain characteristics. It doesn't matter how you spell it. This is not about spelling. It's not even about being perfect here. But that would be my headline for that. Now I look at the other paragraph, and remember the structure of a paragraph should have the topic sentence, the supporting sentences, and then potentially a conclusion or a sentence that ties into the next paragraph. Since there's only one paragraph, I already did my headline, but for our purposes, I want always you to find the topic. Topic equals living things. And now we know that the main idea of this paragraph is living things have certain traits, certain characteristics. How do we know that? The next paragraph, they need water, food, and air to survive, is a supporting sentence. Remember, we have the topic sentence and then supporting sentences. Living things reproduce or make more of themselves. And then they give an example. And finally, they say plants make their own food and animals eat plants or other animals for food. Not necessarily the concluding sentence, but we know for sure now we have the topic sentence because it has the topic, living things, and it has the author's idea about living things, are organisms with certain characteristics. And how do we know that this is the topic sentence? Well, all the other supporting sentences give either examples or explanations about the main idea. And again, main idea is the same as your topic sentence. Let's now look at the multiple choice question given for this one. Now let's take a look. We know that we already headlined this paragraph. What is the main idea of the passage? There are 4 characteristics of living things. Well, this looks very much like how we headline, but let's just move on. Animals make their own food. That's not even supported by the passage. All living things need sunlight. That's not true. Plants eat other plants. That's not true at all. Again, the main idea is topic plus an idea about the topic. And here we know that the topic is living things, and the author's idea is living things have certain characteristics. And the answer to this question would be A. Let's try one more. Have you seen a giraffe at the zoo? Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world. The average height of a giraffe is 16 to 18 feet tall. This animal has a very long neck and legs. Giraffes eat the leaves from tall trees. Other animals cannot reach that high. Male giraffes are even taller than female giraffes. So clearly the topic that we must find first, topic equals giraffe. And to find the main idea, we need to know what the funk this author is saying about the topic, which is giraffe. Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world. That could be a topic sentence. It has the topic giraffes, and it answers the question, what the funk is this author trying to tell us about the topic? What the funk is his idea? Are the tallest animals in the world? We know that a paragraph has a topic sentence and supporting sentences and potentially a conclusion. The average height of a giraffe is 6 to 18 feet tall. Animal has a very long neck and legs. Giraffe eat leaves from tall trees. Other animals cannot reach that high. Male giraffes are even taller than female giraffes. To me, the headline, which we will always do, giraffes are tallest animals in world. Very simple. That's how I would headline it. I believe that to be the main idea, and I find it right in the topic sentence. Now, if you start reading a passage or a paragraph that has supporting sentences that aren't related to your main idea, and then you start to realize maybe you have the wrong main idea, and that's okay. You go back and then you search. What we're going to search for, the first and last sentences first. Even the title of a passage can give us the topic, because we need that topic first, and then we're going to ask us, what the funk is this author trying to say about the topic? What the funk is his idea about the topic? Here we have the topic of giraffes, and then a clear main idea. Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world. Let's check out the multiple choice questions. And the question is, what is the main idea of the passage? Giraffes are extremely tall animals. That's true. Giraffes don't sleep very much. Giraffes are unique animals. Giraffes eat leaves. While some of that may be true, we know that A, giraffes are extremely tall, matches right up with our headline. And again, we are headlining every paragraph as we go along on our journey here. This is Professor Frank, the coolest motherfucking English teacher on YouTube. What up, little gangsters? Have a good day. I'm funking out.